Welcome back. It is still the 12 days of Christmas, and on the 6th day of Christmas, my bookish friend gave to me a really fun book tag. That's right, this isn't the actual theme for the 6th day of Bookmas. I don't really read a lot of overhyped books, which was the theme for today, so I didn't really have anything for this one. But as perfect timing would have it, Felicia over at the Little Prairie Library tagged me to do the Christmas Classics book tag, so I decided to do that instead today. So with the classic Christmas book tag, you're taking a classic Christmas movie and matching a book to go along with that classic Christmas movie. And without further ado, question number 1, Santa Claus is coming to town. A book you want Santa to bring you this year. And my answer is going to be all the books, because I haven't bought a new book in a while, so I would like books in general. I'll be happy with any. Question number 2, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You are Rudolph, and you have to lead your friends to a good book or series. Which do you choose? And for that, I'm going to choose the Hagenheim fairy tale retelling series. I'm not too sure exactly what this series is called. Goodreads calls it the Hagenheim fairy tale retellings, but they're essentially medieval fairy tale retellings set in an actual historical setting like the Holy Roman Empire time period, and they are done very, very well. They are by Melanie Dickerson. They are wonderful. If you love fairy tale retellings, I highly recommend them. I don't have all of them with me because I lent them out to a friend because they need to read it and it's awesome. Question number 3 is A Christmas Carol. Pick a book that you have reread, pick a book that you are currently reading, and pick a book that you are going to read next year. So for the book I have reread the Hunger Games trilogy this year. This is actually the only series I have reread this year. Everything else has been a first time read for me, and there wasn't a lot on my shelf currently that I have actually reread recently, so I need to get on that because there's some really good books on there that are begging to be reread. But this year for me it was The Hunger Games, and I am currently making my way through Winter by Marissa Meyer, and I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Oh my goodness, have you ever felt so almost defeated, like you hit chapter 35 and you're like, woohoo, making progress, and it's like, no, you're not even halfway done. It's like, why is this book so long? But it's worth it. It's so good so far. It's so good, but just so long. So the book I am most excited for in the New Year's is The Calling by Rochelle Decker. This is the second book in the Seer trilogy, the sequel to The Choosing, which was my favorite book. Retelling, and is the Rapunzel retelling, and it looks so good, and I think she has a couple other books that are coming out right away next year that I'd like to get as well, and they're all fairy tale retellings, so sold, I'll get them. Question number 4, Miracle on 34th Street. A book that was a miracle that you got through it, and for that I'm going to choose Crossed and Reached by Ali Condi, the second and third book in the Match trilogy. I can't believe I read these, to be honest. I can't believe I finished this series. It was so painful. I'm surprised. It was a miracle. It was a miracle. And another book that will take me a miracle to get through it, and that is the Space Trilogy by C.S. Lewis. I'm still trying to get through that hideous strength. The writing is so brilliant. You can't deny it, but this book is so boring. But I want to read it. I want to do it. This will be a huge accomplishment if I actually get through it. I will be so proud of myself if I actually plow through this and finish it. And if I come through it actually knowing what it's about, that will be a miracle in itself. So, The Space Trilogy by C.S. Lewis. Question number 5, The Polar Express. A book you read through rather quickly that you wish could have lasted forever. And that's a book I read recently that was Chivalrous by Diana Slyman? I can't say the author's name to save my life. But it is book 2 in the Valiant Hearts trilogy, and it was so much better than the first book. I liked the first book. It was okay. I think I overhyped a lot of books that I read and put so much into it when I first started booktube because I just wanted to be part of the booktube crowd. and I liked the first book, but I didn't love it as much as when I first talked about it. But the second book was so much better. This book took me by surprise. This book made me cry in some parts, and it was overall just a fantastic book. I am so excited for the third book because it's going to carry on another character's story, and that character broke my heart, and my heart broke for her. So I want to see how her story ends and how she kind of finds forgiveness for herself and whatnot. And oh my goodness, her story looks like it's going to be the best book of the series, so I'm so excited for the last book. But Chivalrous by Diana Slyman totally took me by surprise, and I wanted to keep going. I wanted to read the third book right away and find out what happened to that character. Number 6, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. If you were to steal a book, which book would it be? I don't know. All of them? Why would I be stealing a book? What do you mean by stealing a book? Am I stealing a book from someone else? Am I borrowing a book? I really don't know how to answer this question, so we're gonna skip ahead. But there's a lot of books I'd like to borrow. I bring them back. I mean, the Grinch brought Christmas back after all, so I probably would just borrow books from friends. So, I don't know, whatever you got that you think I should read. Question number 7, Frosty the Snowman, a book that melted your heart. And I've already talked about this book enough, but that would be Codename Verity and Rose Under Fire by Elizabeth Wine. And I'm not going to talk any more about these, but these are heart-melting heartbreakers. Just read them. Read them if you have not read them. Trust me, you want to read these books. And question number 8, The Santa Claus. A book you read and enjoyed so much that it made you instantly believe in the author's talent. Really, these could be any. I loved Elizabeth Wine's writing in Codename Verity and Rose Under Fire. I loved Krista McGee's ability to take even dystopian fiction and contemporary fiction and make them so real and so lifelike and so applicable, and incorporate all of that so well. Also, Melanie Dickerson's ability to incorporate a fairy tale into a real world and make it sound like it would actually happen in the real world, and to incorporate fairy tale retellings in a real world setting. Also, The Hunger Games. I really enjoyed Suzanne Collins' world building, as well as her ability to make you invest everything you feel towards a character. I have never been so invested in a set of characters from a book before the movies came out. I've never been so invested in a characters in books as I was in The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Her ability to make you care for these people was incredible. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thanks for sticking through this scatterbrained video, and thank you so much, Felicia, for tagging me. I enjoyed doing this tag. And that is it for day 6 of Bookmas. Thank you all for watching, and as always, Merry Bookmas!